On Tuesday morning local time, Mount Etna in Italy again exhibited volcanic activity. A large cloud of ash, hot gas, and rock erupted from the volcanic crater on the island of Sicily. A giant plume of smoke could be seen rising several kilometers into the sky, creating a dramatic spectacle for Europe's largest active volcano. Despite its frightening appearance, the eruption caused no casualties or significant damage. Flights to and from Sicily were virtually unaffected. Etna's eruption is often referred to as a Strombolian eruption, but the characteristics of the eruption suggest this classification is not entirely accurate. The eruption began with a buildup of pressure from hot gases inside the volcano, causing part of the summit crater to collapse. This collapse triggered the formation of pyroclastic flows, a mixture of ash clouds, high-temperature gases, and rock fragments that shot rapidly from within the volcano. Shortly thereafter, lava flowed in 3 different directions down Etna's slopes before finally cooling. On Monday evening, Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology announced that volcanic activity had ended. Volcanologists classify eruptions based on their explosiveness. The more explosive an eruption, the greater its potential danger, because volcanic material can spread more widely and more quickly. Eruptions with low explosive power are known as Hawaiian eruptions. In these types, lava flows relatively calmly down the slopes of the volcano. While it can destroy everything in its path, its impact is usually limited to a local area. In contrast, more explosive eruptions eject ash and rock over long distances. At the most dangerous end of the spectrum are Plinian eruptions, such as the eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 AD, which buried the cities of Pompeii and Herculaneum under a thick layer of ash. In these eruptions, columns of ash and gas can reach the stratosphere. When the column collapses, volcanic material falls back to the surface, causing widespread destruction. Strombolian eruptions fall somewhere between these two extremes. Named after Mount Stromboli in Italy, they are characterized by small, periodic eruptions that eject rock and ash tens to hundreds of meters into the air. However, the pyroclastic flows generated in this Etna eruption were much more explosive, making it impossible to classify them as purely Strombolian. Predicting volcanic eruptions can be likened to predicting the weather, difficult and fraught with risks. However, scientists' ability to visualize and describe volcanic activity is now much better than in the past. To understand the potential for future eruptions, researchers must understand what is happening inside volcanoes today. Unable to see directly into the Earth, scientists rely on indirect measurements. The movement of magma toward the surface, for example, can trigger small earthquakes as it pushes against surrounding rock. By recording these vibrations, scientists can track the magma's journey from depth Furthermore, rising magma can cause the ground surface around a volcano to bulge by several millimeters to centimeters. These changes can be detected using satellites. Some volcanoes also continue to emit gases, even when not erupting. Changes in the chemical composition of these gases are often a sign that new magma is rising. Once data is collected, volcanologists must understand the character of each volcano to understand the meaning of these signals. Many people predict that volcanic eruptions are more frequent today than in the past. However, this assumption is incorrect. What has changed is not the frequency of eruptions, but how we interpret them. With increasingly sophisticated monitoring technology and a highly active global media, volcanic eruptions are now more quickly recognized, documented, and disseminated, complete with images that appear new and frightening.